Hello everyone, this is Hemashita from Triple E Department, Srinivasa Ramanjana Institute of Technology. Today I am here to tell about my second assessment and my topic is address operation and pointers. Let me start the content and my content is introduction, address operation, introduction of pointers and definition of the pointers, use of pointers, declaration of a pointer, initialization of a pointer and the conclusion. Let me start the introduction. Variables are used to hold the data values during the execution of a program. For every variable, when we declare, it occupies a memory location. And the address operation is used to access and display the address of a variable. In order to store the address of a variable, there is a need of using another variable, and that is called as a pointer. Let us know about the address operation. Address operations is used in the C language, especially and returns the address variable, and it is denoted by the symbol of ampersand. And the address operations returns a integer value, which is addresses and operanded in the memory. We can use the address operation with a kind of variables like arrays, strings, and the function. Even we can use in the pointers. In C, the pointers of variables are to store the address of another variable, and it is denoted by the asterisk symbol, and it is known by star. The pointers are used to store and manipulate the address of the variables and functions of the arrays. The value at the address operation is another union operation that returns the value to store an address pointed by a pointer. Introduction of a pointers. Variables are used to hold the data values during the execution for a program. For every variable, we can declare and we can occupy for a certain memory location. The address operations are used to access and display the address of a variable. I repeat, the address operation is used to access and display the address of a variable. In order to store the address of a variable, there is a need of using another variable, which is known as pointers. A pointer is derived in the data type in C. Pointers certain memory addresses in their values, hence it is called a memory variable. Definition of a pointers. A pointers is used to store the address of another variable. I repeat, a pointers is used to store the address of another variable. Unlike other variables that holds the values of a certain type, pointers holds the address of a variable. Let us know about one example. An integer variable holds an integer value. However, an integer pointer holds the address of an integer variable. The variables that can be a type of int, char, function of another variable. The size of the pointers depends on their architecture. Use of pointers. To pass arguments by the reference, for accessing array elements, to return multi-values, dynamic memory allocated, to implement data structures, to do system like programming where memory addresses are useful. Declaration of a pointers. In C language, the pointers is declared by using the asterisk symbol. It is also known as a indirect pointers used to dereference a pointer. A pointer variable must be declared by the type of the variable pointed by it. Let us see one as syntax. Data type, asterisk symbol, pointer name. Here, data type is any data type in a C language. Dereference operators is a asterisk symbol and the pointer name is a valid identifier in the C. Important points to remember while declaring. The data type of a pointers and the variables must match. An int pointers can hold the address of an int variable. And similarly, a pointer declared with a float type can be hold the address of a float variable only. Pointers of a data type occupy same memory in bytes and the address of a variable of any data type. Initialization of a pointers. A pointers must be initialized properly to the address of another variable. The default initialization variables of a pointers is null. If it is not initialized, let us see a syntax. PowerPoint name is equals to ampersand variable name. Let us see an example. Pnum is equals to ampersand pnum, where the pnum is assigned to the address of a num. We need to note in C language, the pointer's associate is null. It means that the pointing the to nothing. In C, the constant always be a whole number. Addresses. Let us see a sample program. Hash include str.h int main. Int num is equals to 10. Int asterisk ptr is equals to ampersand num. To know the value of the num, we need to print the value of the num is percentage d slash n. To know the address of the num, printf, the address of the num is percentage p slash n. To know the value of the pointer, printf, the value of the ptr is percentage p slash n. To know the value of the pointers, percentage p is equal to the value of the ptr is percentage d slash n. And the last conclusion is when we declare a variable, it occupies certain memory location. And the address operation is used to access and display the address of a variable. Pointers are used to store the address of another variable. Thank you. Signing off. This is Hema Harshita.